Football is back. What's going on, guys? It's Cal here from Buffalo SportsCenter. Today we're going to be doing a pretty big video. This is my favorite time of the year. Football season is upon us, and we are going to be previewing the Week 1 game. It is the Chicago Bears taking on the Buffalo Bills at Highmark Stadium. It'll be going down Saturday, August 10th at 1 p.m. You can watch the game on NFL Network and some of your local stations. Again, I don't know exactly what that will be. If you're coming in here from Chicago, welcome. I don't know what local station will have the game, but NFL Network will certainly have it. So let's get started. We're going to talk about the Bills first. If you're a Bears fan, skip around halfway in this video if you want to. So starting with the Bills, I mean, it's their first game of the season, so we don't really know what to expect. There are a ton of new faces on this team, though. The Bills, again, I'll always say it, as long as Josh Allen is there at your QB1, you have a chance to go into the playoffs and you have a chance to win the Super Bowl. Every single year, he's your quarterback. But there's a ton of new faces at his supporting cast. So let's get into the position battles, position by position. It's Week 1. We got everyone on this roster. So let's start with quarterback. Again, Josh Allen. At the time of this recording, they haven't announced anyone starting, so I don't know. But Josh Allen, maybe he sees a drive or two, maybe not. Old friend Mitch Trubisky is back, and he will be the backup quarterback for this team all season long. Again, he'll see a good chunk of playing time. And then Shane Buechele, third-year guy out of SMU. We got him from the Chiefs. Again, he'll see some time as well as that third-string guy. Again, whether the Bills carry 2 or 3 quarterbacks is still undetermined. But in this preseason, you'll see a good mix of Trubisky and Buechele. Let's go to the running back situation. It's kind of the same as the quarterback, where the starter is the same and then everyone else pretty much is a new face. So running back James Cook obviously is going to be your starter this year. Really turned it on in the second half of last year under Joe Brady's offense, and hopefully we see that continue. In that second spot right now, we have Ray Davis. He's a rookie out of Kentucky. He had 14 touchdowns last year with the Kentucky Wildcats, and I expect big things from him. So it's definitely going to be exciting to watch him play in the preseason. Then we do have a familiar face here, Ty Johnson. He is injured, though. We saw him sporting a left leg sleeve at practice with no pads on, so it looks like he might miss this game. We know what Ty Johnson brings. He brings that spark. You can put him anywhere in that offense, and he will make a play. Whether he makes this team or not, we don't know, but there's certainly a chance he does. Darrynton Evans is back on the team, so again, a new face for this year, but again, we saw him what he could do in the preseason last year, and he's certainly a guy that I wouldn't mind seeing make this team. I just don't know if he's going to have, the talent to make this team, because the last running back on this roster is Frank Gore Jr., and he has impressed so far in training camp. Again, Frank Gore Jr., another guy who's a fringe roster player, but if he makes the roster, I could certainly see him playing big-time minutes as the season goes on. Again, he's got that veteran presence in his ear. His father, Frank Gore, who is also a member of the Buffalo Bills for a short amount of time there at the end of his career. So hopefully Frank Gore Jr. can impress in this preseason and be the second Gore to get a handoff from Josh Allen in the league. Let's go to tight end now. Again, this one's pretty simple. Kincaid and Knox, those are going to be your 1-2 all season long, but there is a big battle for that third spot at the tight end position. Quentin Morris, Trey McKitty, and Zach Davidson are going to be fighting for that last spot. Quentin Morris, we've already seen. We know what he could do. Had that big touchdown catch against the Giants last year. Trey McKitty, it's his 4th season out of Georgia. And then Zach Davidson, it's his 2nd year out of Central Missouri. Again, I've been told it's been Quentin Morris and Zach Davidson going back and forth with big plays in training camp. And then Trey McKitty with the occasional catch here and there. So we'll see how that goes, but now let's get into the bread and butter of this conversation, the wide receiver position. This is the position that has changed the most. Khalil Shakir is the only receiver on the roster right now who has caught a touchdown pass from Josh Allen. That tells me all you need to know. Again, with the departure of Stephon Diggs, it's going to be tough to really recover this wide receiver room. But the Bills have certainly had a good start by drafting Keon Coleman. I mean, Keon Coleman is one of the most lovable guys in the league already. I mean, he's basically a 1-to-1 replica. If you took Josh Allen and put him at the wide receiver spot, it's the same thing. This big, goofy guy loves having fun, and he certainly has brought the energy so far and looks absolutely amazing in training camp. Again, training camp, preseason, They're two very different things from the regular season, but hopefully it carries over. Then we got Curtis Samuel, who, again, that was a big get in free agency. You had to get a guy like Curtis Samuel, a veteran guy, a guy who's played under Joe Brady before, and a guy who can kind of do it all. He's a gadget guy, right? He could go downfield. He could even line up in the running back spot, and we've seen Joe Brady put him there so far in training camp. We'll see how that goes. Then we have MVS, again, Marquez Valdez-Scantling. So far hasn't looked that great in training camp. It's a little surprising. You know, we really wanted this guy to come in and be that gadget guy that he was for the Chiefs and even, you know, the Packers. Again, he's played under Aaron Rodgers. He's played under Patrick Mahomes. He's a Super Bowl champion. This guy has all the tools. He has the experience. He's just got to kind of find his rhythm in this offense. I'm not too worried yet. Then we have a guy like Chase Claypool. And Chase Claypool, he was injured early in training camp, so unfortunately probably will not be playing in this game. But again, another fringe roster guy who has experience, kind of turned into a goofball later in his career, but certainly had a good college career and started off his career pretty well in Pittsburgh. Then we got the rest of the receivers. Let's go through them quick. Mac Hollins, Justin Shorter, KJ Hamler, Andy Isabella, Terrell Shavers, Brian Thompson, Xavier Johnson, and Lawrence Keys III. And these guys are all fighting for those last couple spots. Again, Mac Hollins should probably make it. Justin Shorter, KJ Hamler, Isabella, and Terrell Shavers are going to be the bulk of that. And Thompson, Johnson, and Keys III probably will not be making it. But you never know. Guys to look for. Now let's get to the O-line. Similar starting cast. Dawkins, Edwards, McGovern, Torrance, and Spencer Brown. But there is, you know, always some battles in the offensive line, and you know, this year we're going to have Alec Anderson, Will Clapp, and La'el Collins fighting for those last couple spots, so we'll see what happens there. Now let's switch over to the defense. This will be a little shorter. Same D-line, basically, that we had last year, and Von Miller certainly looks back in training camp, so that's a big guy to watch. Again, I highly doubt he plays much, if any, of these preseason games, but if he does, we'll certainly have to look out for him. Highly doubt he does, though. Then the linebacker duo of Bernard and Milano. Again, very, very used to seeing that. So, again, they'll play a little bit. The big thing to watch here is how Milano bounces back from that season-ending injury last year. The safeties, this is a big concern. Again, Micah Hyde and Jordan Poyer are both gone. Both our starters from last year are gone. So right now we have Rapp and Mike Edwards as the starters, with Damar Hamlin and Kareem Jackson fighting for those backup spots. Again, we really don't know what's going to happen with safety spot. Rookie Cole Bishop, unfortunately, got hurt in training camp, too. He's week to week right now, will not play this week. Now let's go to the cornerback position. Again, Douglas and Elam are going to be, you know, out there. Benford, Jamarcus Ingram might see some time as well. Benford, certainly, I don't know about Jamarcus Ingram in the regular season, but for preseason, we will see a bunch of him. And then, of course, Taron Johnson, your old reliable slot cornerback. He will fit right in there as well. Special teams, Bass and Sam Martin will remain in their current spots. Again, I wouldn't expect any changes there unless Bass has an absolutely horrible preseason. But again, Bass had a rough year, but he looks pretty good in training camp so far. Now let's switch over to the Chicago Bears, the 1-0 Chicago Bears, I should say, after a rained-out Hall of Fame game. This is a big one for Bears fans because we are all anticipating the debut of rookie quarterback Caleb Williams. Again, Caleb Williams did not play in that Hall of Fame game. It seems they are saving him to face this Bills defense in the week 1 of the preseason. Caleb Williams, I mean, again, he's going to be the face of all rookies, at least for the first couple weeks of the season. And, you know, you look at other teams like last year, look at Houston, the team they played in the Hall of Fame game. C.J. Stroud, you know, faces were on him, and he took that team pretty far into the postseason and just had a heck of a debut. So we'll see if Caleb Williams can have a similar season. It all starts Saturday. Again, for backups, they didn't really go out and get him a veteran backup. Usually that's the mold. You get a rookie quarterback, you either have them watch a veteran backup for a year or two, or you have a veteran quarterback kind of mentor them from the sidelines. The Bears feel very confident in Tyson Bagent, the young backup, and he's going to be the backup this year. Again, he barely played in the Hall of Fame game. He looked all right, but the big story at quarterback for them was third stringer Brett Rippon. I mean, he looked great. 11 for 15, 166 yards, and 3 touchdowns, and he was going to get a lot more touches if that rain delay did not happen. So, again, not much more you can ask out of a guy like Brett Rippon, and he looked really good. As far as the running game went, Khalil Herbert, he had 35 yards, looked like Khalil Herbert, right? Again, they got Swift in the offseason, so Herbert slides into that backup spot. but, you know, he's still a very good running back and a guy to watch for in this preseason game. Roscoe Johnson, again, 24 yards on the ground. You know, he played a pretty solid game, but again, nothing special there. And then let's go to the Bears receiving in that game. Was it Colin Johnson or Calvin Johnson? I mean, this guy was all over. Again, only 3 receptions, but 56 yards and 2 touchdowns. Again, this game only played about a half and a little bit into the third, and he put up 56 yards and 2 touchdowns. So that's pretty impressive. And then old friend Tommy Sweeney had a touchdown as well. 3 receptions, 47 yards to go along with it. Unfortunately for him, he did fumble, but, you know, the Bears ended up getting the ball back there. Speaking of fumbles, Dante Pettis, he fumbled a punt return there. Again, it was in the rain against Tommy Townsend, who's known to have some funky spin on the ball. But, again, that's something to look for if you're a Bears fan. You know, you really can't be giving away the ball on those kickoff and punt returns, especially in the preseason when you're fighting for your roster spot. The Bears only had 1 sack from Byron Coart. Again, it was kind of a botched play. I believe it was Case Keenum in the game at that. No, it might have been Davis Mills, one of the two, but again, just a botched play. You know, the running back did not take the ball, and the Bears were able to get their 1 sack. So as far as this game goes, it should be a fun game. Again, lots of eyes are going to be on Caleb Williams. Whether he plays a drive, a half, or the whole game, he's not going to play the whole game. But, you know, it doesn't matter how much he plays. We're going to be watching Caleb Williams. That's what the national media is going to be watching in this one. As far as my prediction goes, I will have the Bills winning this one 28-27. I expect a close game. Again, Caleb Williams is a rookie, but I expect him to put up at least a touchdown. I think the Bears start this one off hot, but I love that Bills depth, and I think the Bills battle back to win a close one. So let me know what you guys think of this game in the comment section below. Do you think the Bills will win this game? What position battle are you looking for? Do you think the Bears will win this game? What players on the Bears are you guys going to be looking for in this one? Again, let's just have fun with it. It's preseason. You don't got to win it, but historically, the Bills have been pretty good in the preseason as of recent. So thank you guys for watching. Make sure to subscribe, like the video, check out the Instagram and the Discord, and until next week, have a good one.